Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be again in this wonderful world of ours. Welcome to the Thursday Laptop Hound OOTP 23 stream. Glad to have you guys here. How you doing on this Thursday? As I posted in the chat, where are you watching from? Are you watching from work, kind of? Are you listening from home? Are you on the road somewhere? Hopefully not driving and having to chat away. Where are you guys watching the show from, listening from the show from? Whether you're watching, listening, ghosting, getting your packs, thank you for taking the time to click on that link and come to Twitch and watch the show today. So much to talk about today. OOTP, real baseball, historical baseball, opening packs, doing giveaways. So much that we got going on today, hopefully without the Twitch glitch. We will be back right after the 30-second countdown. Stay tuned. All right, welcome to the show, guys. Again, so glad to have you here today. Like I said, so much going on, so much to talk about. OOTP, real baseball, historical baseball, weather, hockey, everything in the bank today. Plus, of course, we have our Thursday giveaway. Yes, later on in the stream, we will be giving away again 10 packs to 2 different people. You get 10, you get 10. Well, not everyone gets 10. What? Got a budget, that I got to live on. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Where do we got people from? We got Wildcat Bandit having lunch. Hope you're having a good lunch there, Wildcat. And Stinkins is in the snowbank in Minneapolis. We've all been there, unless you're Cubs fan Steve down in Florida. He's probably not in a snowbank right now. So hopefully, what is the weather update in the Midwest there? Is it done? Is a storm rolled through? Is it dig out time and recovery time in Minneapolis? Yeah, again, just getting pounded. San Francisco, California, with the water coming in from the coast and the rain and flooding. And yeah, California, from what I've seen on the weather maps, is not having a good time here. Sunny and mild in OKC. All right, good. Yeah. So again, guys, welcome. It is episode number 48. So glad to have you here. And the title of today's 48th episode, because I know it's going to happen, is 500. We're so close. 500. I put on the tie today. Look at this. I've got the baseball tie. Yeah, it's going to happen. We're going to get to that 500. I know it. I can feel it. We're at 499 here. Just got to wait for that one more person to officially celebrate. It's like, Christmas is coming, but it's still a little bit away. It's still a little bit out of reach. So thank you guys again for tuning in to episode number 48. Again, the OOTP sale is over. It's done with. It ended a few minutes ago. So if you are looking to get the game, I don't think you can get it for $9.99 unless they extended it or they forgot to take it down. But it was supposed to end at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. And of course, the sale on perfect points and all that kind of stuff ended as well. So hopefully you took advantage of that or picked up a second license to create a few more teams. I know we're at the end of the cycle. It's hard to kind of push a sale when you know that the new game is right around the corner. So hopefully, if you want to play this game for another year and a couple months, you took advantage of that sale. Rob VD fan, VD, thank you for turning in to the episode today. Cool and foggy in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Atlantic City, for some reason, I think of that as a gambling town. I'm not familiar with all the places in the United States because, of course, I'm Canadian. But Atlantic City, is that kind of a resort area where people go and gamble? Or am I thinking of some other place? I know there's Las Vegas and those places, but Atlantic City sounds like it could be a gambling area. So cool and foggy there. Yeah, we have, hey, see, I got you. That intuition, that old 30-year-old teacher intuition has come into play. And there you go. You actually work to regulate the casinos. I'm sure there are some stories you could tell, Rob, about things that take place in casinos and people that you've had to deal with and situations. But pretty cool. Pretty cool that you work in the casino industry. Bigfoot owner. I don't think I've seen you around here before. Glad to have you here. Bigfoot owner. You're watching from home in Colorado Springs. Happy New Year from the Bigfoot team. Happy New Year to you and your family and your friends and those that you work with and your dogs and cats. And I don't know, in Colorado, do you have bears up there that you kind of see, or deer? You must see a lot of wildlife up in Colorado Springs. I know that was a one of the cooler areas this week. So let's quickly kind of go through and let you know where I am at in terms of weather. I'm happy. It's okay. We are at -8 degrees Celsius, 17 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, for Alberta, Canada, at this time in the year, this is summer weather. We'll take it. So as you can see kind of on the forecast here, we don't really have a lot of cold temperatures coming. We got some snow coming next week, but again, this is almost shorts weather in Alberta. Across North America, let's take a look at what the highs and the lows are at some of the more popular places in North America. Miami looks like the most common city or most well-known American city at 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Woo! Must be nice to be in Miami today. We've got, it's even warmer than Acapulco by a little bit. Orlando Cubs fan Steve's at about 72 degrees. Houston, Texas at 67. Philadelphia, 62, not too bad. New Orleans at 59. And we get down to the cooler temperatures. Pond Inlet, -29 degrees Fahrenheit. In terms of the more well-known cities, Edmonton's way up here this time. Hey, we're not in the bottom 10. Yeah, like I said, it's like spring weather here. Montreal at 25 and Minneapolis. There's Minneapolis. Yeah, they're a little cool today. 28 degrees and snow. So that comment about the snowbank wasn't too far off. Denver, 29 degrees. So Bigfoot, yeah, you must be in kind of that Denver area, cooler temperatures. But like I said, nothing really extreme in terms of weather unless you're on the West Coast, California area, where they're continuing to get pummeled by all the snow and or not snow, but all the rain. Yeah, I've seen some of the footage in California. It doesn't look very good. Thank you guys. If you are tuning in on the rebroadcast, thank you for rewatching or watching after the fact, or if you're watching it from the YouTube channel, because I know I have a few YouTube followers who don't watch the Twitch stream. They kind of watch it when I post it on YouTube. So thank you to my Twitch followers, my YouTube followers, mom, brother, family members. Thank you guys for tuning in when you can. And if you haven't checked out my YouTube, yeah, go check it out. A lot of OOTP content on there right from when this game came out in end of April, beginning of May is when OOTP 23 came out. So a lot of content on there. And then I kind of switched over to Twitch and focusing a little bit more on Twitch. But I always repost these on YouTube. So thank you if you're watching these after the fact. And I think I've solved my rerun issue. So I know last episode we had a few glitches with Twitch. It went down, and some of you were mentioning that when you go to my stream, it says rerun. I think I've solved that, but maybe someone can confirm it. If you're looking at my stream, is there a rerun there, or does it just say live now? I think it just should say live. I think I fixed that. Oh, Cobra, 31 degrees Fahrenheit and snow. Well, that's the beauty of the internet. 31 degrees and snow. So I just have to look at my handy dandy chart and say, hey, you must be near Milwaukee or Madison. I'm guessing you're near Madison if you're at 31 in snow, because hey, I've got my little cheat sheet here. So yeah, you're getting into that Edmonton kind of weather, except we get usually colder temperatures. 37 degrees in Kansas City right now, Barry. Okay, so that's a little bit better than what we're at. And right now I'm sitting at 17 degrees. So yeah, if it's shorts weather for us, it must be you know, um, underwear weather for you guys in Kansas City. Eastern North Carolina. Hey, Dark Raven, North Carolina, 63 and sunny in North Carolina. And thank you, Barry. I'm showing us live. I fixed that little glitch. So good to know there. And Cubs fan Steve confirming that at 11:11. He's saying, yep, Lap, you are showing as live. And Green Bay, oh, that is one of the ultimate places I'd love to go watch a football game. I mean, right, as an NFL fan, you want to see at least one game in Green Bay. So Cobra, you must have seen at least one Green Bay game, right? You NFL fan, you've gone to see the Green Bay Packers, especially in the snow, with Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers or who was before that, Brett Starr, must have seen. Oh, really? Really tough getting tickets? Is that kind of the place where you have the long waiting line and uh, have to wait years to get season tickets or to get regular tickets or buy them off scalpers, I guess? I'm sure you could get some off scalpers. 20 Cobra. Is there something in your coffee this morning? 20 years? 20 years you have to wait? Holy smoke. So pretty much you have to inherit season tickets from someone that has them already. Holy smokers. I've heard of a year or 2 or 3 years waiting, but 20 years, wow. Those Packers fans, what does that stadium hold? 40,000, 50,000, or is it a smaller stadium? I don't know much about, the dynamics of Lambeau Field. Stinkin saying, don't waste your time in Green Bay. Stinkins, does that mean I can't wear my Aaron Rodgers shirt? Huh? Don't spend your time in Green Bay, waste your time. Well, I know the weather isn't the greatest. I know you got a lot of cheeseheads in Green Bay. Go someplace with a decent fan base and team. Well, I like New Orleans. I like Seattle. I like those teams. I don't really have a least favorite team. Maybe the Cowboys. I'm not really much of a Cowboys fan or really not much of a Steelers fan, even though I respect what they've done in the past. So, Eagle season tickets are the same. My family's been on a 6-year list. Whoa. For over 20 years, they've been on a 6-year list. There's something wrong in Philadelphia. It's not sunny in Philadelphia. Wow, rabid sports fans. And I know your college teams, same thing. It's packed, it's sold out with all the young kids and the rallying around your community sports. We get that a little bit in Canada. University sports isn't huge here. We might get lucky to have 3,000 to 5,000 people at a university football game. More, of course, if it's the playoffs or the championships. But for you guys to get 60,000, 80,000, that's like hockey with us. Hockey sells out fairly quickly. Some waiting lists in some cities for season tickets. But yeah, you guys take it to the next level. So, again, if you're just joining in, thank you for over 160 of you being here. This is episode 48. It is titled 500 Followers. This is a premature thank you because it looks like I'm sitting at 499. Let me just check here. 499. Yeah, still sitting at 499. So, come on, one of you guys, mom, brother, your dog accidentally hits that little follow button. Let's get to 500 at some point today. That is a huge, would be a huge accomplishment. And what else do we got? Oh, I just noticed this too. Cubs fan Steve, Cubs fan 23, Steve, resubscribe for your 1 month tier one. You've been subscribing for 3 months. Steve, I know you've been waiting for this. I know you know what's coming. You're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I've ever met. Thank you, Steve. And I'm not going to sing any more of the song because I don't want your ears to bleed. And, the rest of the song is kind of has to do with romance and I like you, Steve, but you get that part of the song. So thank you so much, Steve, for your 3 month subscription. Subscribers, followers, they mean so much. Again, I'm not in TV. I'm not in radio. I never have been. I've never really been in a public spotlight. I've been a public school teacher for over 30 years, high school, grade 9, grade 8, all the way up to grade 12, history, social studies. That's what I have done for my career. And after recently retiring, coming on and still wanting to educate, still wanting to teach, still wanting to perform, I guess, in front of a group of people, but just in a different way, not really on a stage or on a small screen. So thank you for the subscription. And Bry Dave 001, I'm going to have to screenshot that because Bry Dave 3001, you are the 500th subscriber. Well, no, not subscriber. I'd be going to visit all of you guys if it was subscribers. 500 follower. Thank you so much. Of course, 500 is a big, momentous. So let's have a little bit of fireworks. There we go. Thank you so much, Bry, Dave, double zero, double one. I'm just over the moon right now. 500 subscribers. Never would have followers. I'm so used to YouTube where it's subscribers. 500 followers. Thank you, Bry Dave Bry Dave 011. I'm just gonna call you Bry. Thank you, Bry, for being follower number 500. Wow. That's why, again, if you tuned in late, got the baseball tie on. Yep. I've been out of the closet. Been a while since I had to put this on, but thank you. And let's move on with the show. The fireworks for now are done. Now we try and get to 600 and 700 and so on. Again, if you're new to OOTP, remember that you can play this game on the go like many of you do. Thank you so much, Steve, again for being number or for resubscribing for your 3rd month. Thank you, Wildcat Bandit. And I do have some new emotes that either are up now or are under review by Twitch, but they should be coming soon. So if you are a subscriber, you will get some emotes to play with that are very appropriate for some of the things that I do. during my stream. Thank you, Budweiser Bob, so much for being one of the followers and for tuning in and winning contests and everything that you contribute to the channel. And that's the main reason to sub. Well, thank you. Maybe we'll get an encore next month. Maybe we'll come up with a different song. You like country, Steve? I can do some country for you. Maybe I'll take requests. Are teachers underpaid in Canada as they are in the US? Good question. This would be an hour stream, Steve, if I talked about this. The short form, the Cole's Notes form, if you're familiar with Cole's Notes as a kid, not as underpaid, not as underappreciated, but we're moving in that direction. I know a lot of places in the world, Australia, United States, many people don't see teachers as professionals, and therefore they don't get the respect, they don't get the celebration, they don't get the pay that they do. In Canada, it's better, but it's definitely moving in a different direction. So we're not quite, at the same education level as in the United States in terms of how teachers are treated. Now, that being said, there are probably some places in the US, private schools, things like that, where teachers are paid better and are appreciated a lot more. I'm just kind of in a general statement saying that there still is a little bit of a difference with Canadian teachers and American teachers. I know when I was a kid, I respected all my teachers. If I would see one at a mall or at a store, it'd be like, oh, my teacher, mom, my teacher, right there, my teacher. And you would it'd be a proud moment almost. I don't know if that happens today, and I don't know if that happens with kids in some countries when they see their teacher and they feel like, I don't want to say a movie star, but almost like a role model. And that's what teachers used to be for many, many years. The good ones, anyway, because there are a lot of bad teachers out there, but the good ones used to be seen as role models. And I think we're starting to see that slip away a little bit. No country? Okay. We'll lay off on the country there, Steve. Gotcha. Thanks, Bry Dave. Yeah, thanks for taking the bullet. Yeah, thanks for taking that bullet and being number 500. And let me just take a check. Yeah, it's still at 500. So no one's goofing around saying, you know what, I'm going to take that back. Sometimes when the music comes out, you just never know. Cobra, you didn't realize teachers ate food until. I hear you. I hear you, Cobra. You almost think they're from another planet. You think they're, you know, not on a pedestal so much, but that they live a different life. Do they eat? Do they sleep? Do they, are they like vampires and only come out at night, in public? Like yeah, I hear you exactly, Cobra. You and I are in the similar age range. So we grew up respecting teachers in a different way that a lot of people see them today, depending again on where you're from, because every country, every city, every school is a little bit different. Rural schools are different than city schools, private schools different than public schools, and so on. Hey, my first teacher experience here. You teach high school math and you get to experience being gone for the first 2 days of a new semester. Wow. Our semester is always at the end of January. That's where our break is. And that's where we get the 2 days, which is to prep for the new semester. High school math teacher. Very cool. Yeah. Barry Basher, like I said, is social studies, a little bit of English, a little bit of media. I even taught a couple film study courses, which I really enjoyed because I forced kids to watch Charlie Chaplin. I forced them to watch Hitchcock. I forced them to watch uh, Rosebud, Citizen Kane. So it wasn't all the new Hollywood blockbusters. Like, yeah, we're going to watch Transformers part 1, 2 to 62. No, it was, you guys, we're in film studies. We're going to watch classics and we're going to analyze camera angles. We're going to analyze lighting, screenplay, all that kind of stuff. And you know what? For a 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old kid, when they first start watching a black and white movie, they're like, boring. But I have to say, when you put on a classic, after the first 20 minutes, kids will get just as absorbed into that black and white movie as they do with mini color movies. And back then, you didn't have all the special effects and the CGI and things that, you know, give us that burst of entertainment. Uh, it's cool when you see a young kid gazing and watching 12 Angry Men or Modern Times, City Lights, no sound, silent film, and there they are, just enthralled in the movie. So, yeah, thank you for that flashback, Barry Basher. Yeah, that would be another one if I could go back. I kind of had different units because in courses you have units that are set up. So I would have my silent film unit. I would have my movies that made a huge mark in the industry. I would have my Hitchcock unit where we'd watch a few shows. I didn't show anything after like the 1980s. All the films I showed were pre 1980. So yeah, that would be definitely a good one if I had a sport unit. I would definitely include that. Maybe put that in with Field of Dreams. Show two different baseball movies. Karma, Bry Dave, look at that. Look at that. You're the 500th follower and you win. There are rewards in life for doing good deeds. Congratulations, Bry Dave, on that. All right. That being said, the intro is out of the way. The thank yous are out of the way. The weather is out of the way and the celebrations are out of the way. We're getting on to OOTP. We'll be back. Yes. After this message from our sponsors. Be right back, guys. See you in about 60 seconds. All right, welcome back to part 2 of today's stream. Fun first part, getting to chat with you guys a little bit, talking about sports, talking about followers, talking about school, all that kind of stuff. But let's get into some OOTP. So I kind of have to cover the product, don't I? If I'm here streaming, otherwise I'd have to just be chatting. Today we have, again, another giveaway coming up, likely at the end of the stream. So as I do a couple times a week, some packs that I will be giving out for all of you that will enter at that time. Not right now, do not enter. But later on in the stream, I'll be giving out some standard packs, and hopefully, whether you keep them for later tonight or tomorrow, hopefully you'll open something good. I always like stories, comments of packs that you guys open from watching my streams or any affiliate stream for that matter. So don't forget, tonight we have the new cards. But if at any time when I'm opening cards today, if I open one of these 3 gems, we're giving away packs right away. We're not going to wait till the end of the stream. If I pull a Frank Thomas Peak, a Ty Cobb 100, and a Randy Johnson 100 or a Randy Johnson, we're giving away 10 packs right there. So if you're watching and not ghosting and think, well, I'll just come back for the packs at the end of the stream. Well, I might be giving them away a little bit early to those people that are kind of in the room, so to speak, at the moment. And I know odds are very low, but just a little fun kind of thing to do as I open packs. Those are the three I would want the most right now. And yes, I know there's the Ricky Henderson. I know there's the Josh Gibson. There's all those other really good ones. But for me and my Gladiator team, these would be the three that I think would help me out the most right now. Frank Thomas at DH, Ty Cobb, of course, one of the best cards. Randy Johnson definitely would be number 1 or 2 in my pitching staff. So, yeah, let's see if we can pull one of those 3 cards on any of the teams that we pull packs today. Congratulations, Roman a Day Twitch. Congrats. You pulled a Ricky Henderson. Do you remember what number that was? Give us an idea of how many have been pulled right now. I'm guessing maybe like 20, 22, 31 already. Okay, so there are a few Rickies out there. Maybe later we'll have to do our gouge or not gouge and take a look at Ricky Henderson. So number 31, that was pulled yesterday. Rob, you have yet to pull a perfect card? Your live mission, Hank Aaron, is your lone perfect? Well, that's going to change. Just like Bry Dave won a tournament, it's going to change. I'm going to send you some hound vibes that within the next little while, even if it's a live perfect, you're going to pull that perfect card. So stick with it. I know when I first started playing the game in version 19, I don't think I pulled a live or a perfect in 2019. Mind you, the game came out late, so we didn't get a lot of time to play it, but I don't think I pulled the perfect in that version of the game. My highest, I think, was a 97 old-time player. I can't remember who it was, but it wasn't a perfect. So be patient there. Rob, your time will come. Put them on the auction house for cheap. Well, I'll tell you, Cobra, if I pull one of these 3 cards, it is staying on the team for the remainder of the cycle of this game. And you need a few live perfects for the end of season missions. Well, Gorgo and I, within 2 days, we each pulled a live Paul Goldschmidt. And of course, the Aaron Judge sells for about double the amount. So yeah, those missions, you need some of those perfects to get those 3 diamond packs. All right, later we're going to spin the wheel and we're going to call our game, or not for this one, but we're going to call our, let me get to the right screen here. We're going to play our historical matchup a little bit later. And we have 13 teams that have qualified so far. We are going to get team number 14. I meant to do this on Tuesday, but Tuesday was glitch day. So I abandoned this. I'm going to leave it for today. We will do our historical game and see who qualifies for that final 16 Tournament of Champions. So I always like to kind of connect OOTP with profiling a player or just profiling things in the past of Major League Baseball. So today I'm going to focus on this day in baseball. What happened on January 5th? And there's some cool stories that I came out with, and most of us weren't around for a lot of these. You know, maybe Gorgo for some of the later ones, but kind of some cool things. These are cards that we get in the game. John McGraw. There was just a new John McGraw that came out, right? The third baseman. Great defensive third baseman. On this day in 1906, 117 years ago. I'm not a math teacher, so my math teacher can throw in all the comments there. So yeah, John McGraw. There's his beautiful picture there, John McGraw. Just seeing some of the other comments here. Oh, good to see you there, DA. Just noticed your comment there. Rio Teddy O. I get distracted when I hear old movie talk. Yeah, exactly right, DA. Kids at first go, "How come we have to watch a black and white movie?" And I'm like, just sit down. Here's the sheet. Fill in it as the movie goes on, and by the end of it, they're like right up there to the screen. Fortunately, we have much better screens than when I was in school. When you had the 8 millimeter, and you had the slides, and there'd be a beep, and you go to the next slide every time you heard that beep, or the reel-to-reel projectors. Yeah, things technology has come a long way. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, John McGraw opened up a billiard parlor with Todd Sloan, and it became a profitable hangout for the New York City sporting life. So that happened many years ago. Also, a story about Babe 103 years ago. The Yankees the Yankees got rid, or the Yankees, let's read this out. I think the Yankees are taking a gamble. They got Babe Ruth. While Ruth is undoubtedly the greatest hitter the game has ever seen, he is likewise one of the most selfish and inconsiderate men ever to put on a baseball uniform. That came from Red Sox owner at the time defending trading Babe Ruth to the Yankees. And of course, when you get rid of a player, you trash talk them a lot of times. So, according to the Red Sox owner, Babe was very, very difficult to work with. The eccentricities of him as a player made it unbearable to deal with. So, a huge star in the game, 103 years ago, traded to the New York Yankees. Yeah, yeah. A lot of our journalists are not impartial, are they? They say what they think sometimes and go against what many others think. On this day in 1915, so 108 years ago, the Philadelphia Athletics purchased Nap Lajoie. There's another card that we love in this year's version of the game, one of the top second basemen to use, or other positions. I think some might play him at first base. So he was purchased from the Cleveland Indians back in 1915 after having a poor season of hitting only 258. So there you go. Nap Lajoie, future Hall of Famer, goes to the Athletics. Also, on this day in 1957, of course, Jackie Robinson made the news a lot of times, but on this day, what would that be? 100, math teacher, 66 years ago? Jackie Robinson announced his retirement to prevent him from going to his rival New York Giants. So rather than going to the New York Giants, who they traded Dick Littlefield for, even being offered a $60,000 contract back in 1957, Robinson decided to call it quits. So January 5th, 1957, the end of Robinson's baseball career. So kind of cool because we celebrate Jackie Robinson Day. He's got like 3 or 4 cards in the game. C-Wit has the ultimate championship card. And it was on this day that he announced his retirement. Also on this day, we lost one of the all-time greats, Rogers Hornsby, who maybe we'll see tonight. Could it be we get a peak Hornsby as a topper card? I don't think we have a peak one. I think we have a platinum one so far. So maybe this is, being the day that he passed away in 1963, maybe we see a celebration of Hornsby tonight. So Hornsby passed away at the age 66. He batted .358 in his career, 23 years in his major league career. And I think I remember him the most from the baseball card, the valuable baseball card. I think that was him. Yeah. He ended up serving as a coach and a scout for the New York Mets. So all of you Mets would definitely know about that. So that happened on this day in 1963. Have to talk about this one because growing up, I was a huge Dodgers fan, just like EVC and NYC too. Huge Dodgers fan. And he and I, similar ages. I might be a little bit older, but we probably became fans and saw role models in a lot of the same Dodger players. And if he's in the chat today, maybe he can pipe in and let me know if the, 77, 78, 79 Dodgers were kind of his um, developmental baseball years as a young kid. But Don Sutton was my favorite pitcher growing up. Yeah, did he do things legally and ethically all the time? Well, there's rumors of, things that he did with the ball. But on this day in 1998, 25 years ago today, Don Sutton is in the Hall of Fame on his fifth try. So 324 wins, the most victories of any eligible pitcher that wasn't in the Hall already, reached the postseason 3 times with 3 different clubs: Dodgers, Brewers, Angels, and yeah, with the commish there, that's why Photoshop, or maybe even zooming in. Let's see if that works. No, I don't think so. I don't think we got rid of the commish. He's still there. Darn it. Yeah, 25 years ago, Don Sutton, who is no longer with us, got in to the Hall of Fame. He received 386 votes, so 81.6%. I'm not sure what the eligibility is. Is it 80% or is it 75%? Because I know in OOTP you can set it to different percentages. What is the Hall of Fame threshold that they have to meet? And maybe it was different in 1998. So he had 81.6% of the vote. Tony Perez didn't quite make it. And Ron Santos, for the final time on the ballot, didn't make it either. So that's one stipulation they have, is you were only allowed to try for 15 ballots. After that, you're taken off the ballot for good. 75% High Daniels today. Okay, so he made it, with a comfortable margin. Perez had 355, so he must have been really close. Because if Sutton had 386, Perez is 355, he must have been in the low 70s then. Ben Kuzinski, you've always found it interesting how the Hall of Fame criteria changes it. Sutton barely got in, despite having well over 300 wins, 3,000 Ks. Nowadays, it seems easier. Maybe a different word. Yeah, it seems, it just seems like the criteria have changed. Much more difficult back then. Because as I read there, he had the most wins of any pitcher that wasn't in the Hall of Fame yet. And it took him 5 tries to get in. So yeah, a little more complicated back then. And a couple stories near and dear to me as a baseball fan and my Montreal Expos. So, of course, being Canadian, I loved the Expos growing up, loved the Blue Jays. The Expos actually came into the league before Toronto by a few years, actually a fair number of years. We had the Expos first. They played in, of course, Quebec's in Montreal and Labatt Park in 2001. This to me was the beginning of the end to the Expos in Montreal. They still played there a few more years, but this was a key moment because Labatt, which is a brewing company, so a lot of alcoholic beverages, they were working on a deal for a new stadium, and they ended their 15-year sponsorship with the Expos. Because of the poor television contracts and because of the stadium being stalled, the new stadium, they said, we're out of here. And they closed the door. And Labatt is a huge, huge sponsor, just like Molson, just like Rogers. Back in those days, Labatt was probably the premier sponsorship. And when they left, when they abandoned this, it went downhill. And the Expos should have won a World Series, back in early 2000s. But of course, that didn't happen. There wasn't a World Series that year. And while they were at their peak with so many good young players, they never got back there. And they went to Washington, and good on Washington. Still hoping at some point we can get a second team. Canada deserves a second team. We really do. Not just for the fans, but the rivalry. The Canadians are a little different from Americans. We're more national rather than local. So especially for baseball, whether you live in Vancouver or Halifax, you love the Blue Jays because they're Canadian. And we love the Expos because they're Canadian. The only cities that really could support it would be Montreal, Vancouver, maybe a second city just outside of Toronto because they have the population base. But yeah, sad moment. 22 years ago today. I'd take any team. You want to give us the Brewers? We'll take the Brewers. We'll take the Marlins. Heck, we'll take the Pirates. We'll take any team up in Canada. Move them here. We'll find a place for them. And the other Expo story, I don't know if a lot of you knew this. Did you guys know Randy Johnson? Again, Randy Johnson, one of the cards that I want to pull in today's packs. Did you guys realize that Randy Johnson began his career with the Expos? I forgot about that until I read this here. So on this day in 2010, 13 years ago, Randy Johnson won his 300th game. And he announced his retirement, ending his 22-year career, beginning with the Expos in 1988. Yeah, the second most in Major League history with 4,875 strikeouts. Labatt's, I'm kind of promoting and it seems to be working. Do you want to give me a call? And, I'm not going to ask you for a stadium deal, but hey, maybe a 2-year sponsorship. So good, Stinkins. You're craving some Labatt's. Labatt's Blue was the big beer. Now it seems to be Molson Canadian or Pilsner. I don't know if you guys have Pilsner down in the US, but Pilsner, because it had a very comical, cartoonish label. And it's almost like a Where's Waldo when you look at the Pilsner bottle label, because you'd hunt for all these different things, animals and trees. And yeah, very cool, very cheap beer, but a very cool product. No way. Can someone confirm that Tom Brady, I know Tom Brady was drafted, but I didn't realize he was drafted by the Expos. Wow. And Tesuigi, another Canadian who is well versed in his Canadian baseball lore and probably remembers the ballpark situation with Labatt's and definitely probably knew Randy Johnson was an Expo. Montreal baseball team works if it's in the AL East. Yep. I was always hoping when the Expos were in Montreal, I was always hoping, can't they realign the divisions and have both Canadian teams in the same division? Just that rivalry alone and them playing each other 9 times or more and meeting up like in the conference championship. That would have been a 1972 moment for Canada. And if you don't know Canada 1972, maybe Google it. Huge moment in our sporting history. Oh, Tesuigi's still bitter. He's still bitter. He's still got those redacted comments. Yeah. The Expos, Lud, yeah. The Expos were league redacted. That's for sure. You can get Labatt's there, but haven't found Molson, really. Molson is, yeah, it's the monopoly of name brand beer. Of course, we have a lot of private companies and independent companies, but they are still the big sporting promoters. Molson and Rogers are probably the two biggest companies that sponsor sports events. Back in the day, Tesuiji, you'll remember this. Remember back in the day, it used to be Players, the nice light blue. And any of you know what Players sells? I'm curious, trivia question. What product was Players most known for? Yeah, good. You're not too young there, Tesuiji. Tobacco. Yeah. And I always remember the Indy cars. That's where I saw their sponsorship the most, on the Indy cars. Like, I think Scott Goodyear came so close, lost to, I think, Al Unser Jr. Us Canadians remember those moments when a Canadian came so close to a major championship. And Players, yeah, they had their name over a lot of sporting events. Them and De Maurier. Yeah, De Maurier was the other one until our government, I don't know if it was, who would that have been that outlawed that? I think it was after Brian Mulroney and after Pierre Trudeau, maybe Jean Chrétien, the Liberal Prime Minister. Maybe they passed the legislation. And of course, the Toronto Grand Prix. Yeah, they were big sponsors of that. So now I got you guys talking beer and cigarettes. How did we go from cool this day in baseball to beer and cigarettes? Jeez. All right. Randy Johnson, 13 years ago, announces his retirement. Our birthday profile today, because he is a card that recently came out, a two-way player. And I think it was in 2020, maybe 2021, that he had an outstanding perfect league card too. Bob Carruthers would have celebrated his birthday. Born in 1864. So those of you that are really good at math, yeah, Tesuiji, just for you. I'm sure you yelled it out. Those of you really good at math, how old would he be today? We forget sometimes when we're playing with these cards on Perfect Team, how long ago that they played. Bob. Yeah, we have a Bob. He's probably on your theme team, Tesuiji. Scatman, and 100% his favorite PT card. He was a couple versions ago. I don't have him this version, but I love that two-wayness. He must be a really good cap tournament card. There you go, Teddy-O. Thank you for the math there. Well, or maybe not. We've got 159. He would be really old. Yes, close to 160 years old. So Robert Lee. Interesting. I guess there were some Civil War fans. Robert Lee Carruthers. So a couple of stories about him. Via a transatlantic telegraph from Paris, American Association 40-game winner Bob Carruthers agrees to terms with the St. Louis Browns owner Chris Von der Haa. Carruthers' well-publicized holdout will earn him the nickname Parisian Bob. You guys know he had the nickname Parisian Bob? And that's because he was in Paris when he ended his holdout. I did not realize players back in the 1880s and 90s, they held out. I always thought they were like, son, you're going to sign this contract. If not, all the owners are going to blacklist you. So apparently, he was good enough that his holdout worked. Chris Von der Haa completes his biggest deal, selling Bob Carruthers to Brooklyn for $8,250. So he would eventually be sold to Brooklyn. The deal was delayed by Carruthers' negotiations, but he finally agreed to a $5,000 salary. So sold for $8,000 plus, and then he plays for $5,000. It's a little bit different from the Trey Turner deal and all these big contracts that we're seeing. But $5,000 in 1888, I would love, if there are any of you that are really good at inflation, I'd love to know what that would translate to in today's money. 5,000 in 1888. What would that be? Yeah, Rob, cash considerations before there were cash considerations. While that Teddy might be pushing it just a little bit. Come on, that I would expect out of really vanilla gorilla. That kind of comment. Come on. And the last story about Bob Carruthers, the Boston Americans top the visiting New York Highlanders 12-5 with a little help from umpire Bob Carruthers, who tosses out New York pitcher Jesse Tannehill and second base Jimmy Williams for a ball call at home. So Carruthers would go from holdout to pitcher to umpire. Very, very cool. So he is our birthday focus today. All right, guys, we're going to get into game action. We do have our second break coming up here. Stay tuned. We will have giveaways later on for some standard packs, but we've got to hear from our sponsors. Be back in about 60 seconds. All right, we are back. Thank you to our Twitch sponsors for helping us contribute to the OOTP community. Yes, really love that song. No, it was not Jimi Hendrix. No, it was, of course, I can't use that kind of music. It is a free song, a whatever they call them, royalty free songs that I was able to dig up. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Over 200 of you. I guess if it's too close to Jimi Hendrix, Twitch would let me know, but no, it is a free song. All right, we are going to do our next historical matchup, and you may have to help out a little bit depending on how the wheel goes. So let me go to my OOTP off screen here. So we've got 13 contenders so far, ranging from the 1901 Americans all the way to, I think the most recent one is the 2008 Orioles. No Red Sox yet. So Teddy O, we haven't got a Red Sox, but maybe we'll get a team that has Bob Carruthers. So we're going to spin the wheel and find out the eras of the two teams that are playing. First one is there we go. Right, I will enter that on the screen here. 1980 to 1992, the defensive era. Not going to see Bob Crothers there. Next, we have well, we are going to get two teams from the same era. Don't think that's ever happened before. We've come close. So it's going to be a quick ball game, both from the defensive era. All right, maybe we'll see the Expos, maybe we'll see the Jays. Next up, we have to find out the years. So we're going to spin the hound and find out which specific year that we will be playing. Team number 1 will be the 12th team on the list. That is the very bottom, 1992. And team number 2 is going to be team number 14. So that is the second year on the list, 1981. So we've got the beginning of the defensive era against the end of the defensive era. Very cool. Let's find out the specific teams now as we spin the coffee cup, because of course we have to have coffee involved. Maybe next time we'll spin the Labatt Blue bottle. All right, there we go. We've got the viewer's choice from 1992. What do we got? Who are we going to play? Let's have a few choices here and then we'll narrow it down. 1992. A lot of you watched baseball back in 1992. Yep, they even have ads on when you spin the wheel. There's marketing for you. 1992, we got the Phillies from Rob. We got the Jays. That was the 1992, I think, was the year Joe Carter, if I remember correctly, hit his magical home run. All right, well, let's go with the Jays. Let's go with the Jays because that was a World Series winning team. Let's see if they can repeat. Last time we did this, the Pirates, the 1979 Cobra Pirates defended their championship. All right, let's spin and find out the second. All right, it's going to make me count a little bit. So the 23rd, I may need to cycle around again. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And that is, double check. It is another Pirates game. This time the 1981 Pittsburgh Pirates. So Cobra probably remembers that team fairly well. All right, again, we are going to just play the one game. And here is, let me just switch over to my OOTP. Give me 1 minute. All right, here we go for your Toronto Blue Jays. We have Juan Guzman on the mound in a one-game series. Roberto Alomar, maybe we should say redacted Blue Jay, leading off. Manuel Lee at shortstop. Dave Winfield was on the team. In left field, Joe Carter, the home run hero. In right field, John Olerud, the legend at first base. Center fielder, the speedster, Devin White. Pat Borders, who I believe didn't he win the most valuable player in the World Series that year at catcher? And Kelly Gruber. Wasn't really a fan of Kelly Gruber, but he is playing at third base. All right. The Pittsburgh Pirates, they will have Jim Bibby on the mound. The lineup, leadoff, Omar Moreno in center field. Dave Parker is still on the team. 30-year-old Dave Parker in right field. Jason Thompson at first base. Bill Madluck, third base. Mike Easler in left field. Tony Pena is the catcher. Dale Berra, second base. And Tim Foley at shortstop. All right. And since we're playing in the Pirates ballpark, there is no DH. So advantage to the Pirates. So we've got the championship 1992 Blue Jays and the 2 year later champions Pittsburgh Pirates. And let's see who they throw. If they change the lineup, nope, looks like the lineup's going to be the same. Juan Guzman up against Jim Bibby. We will go until runners in scoring position to speed the game up a little bit. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. 200 plus of you here. Milestone today, again, as we reached 500 followers. Thanks to Bry Dave 011 for being number 500. And a huge shout out to Baseball Fan 500. You are 501. And Tohan 75. You are number 502. Thank you so much for following this Canadian former teacher. All right, runners in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the first, nothing for the Blue Jays. Pirates have Omar Moreno on second base, no one out for Dave Parker. Dave Parker hitting second on this team, and he drives one to right field, but that is shallow and easily caught by the right fielder. Jason Thompson at the plate, one away, one on, and he takes a walk on the inside of the plate. Guzman up against Bibby. Madluck at the plate, two on, one away. He goes down swinging. And Mike Easler, can he cash in a run? No, Guzman on fire. He recovers, and the Jays escape. 0-0. Nothing at the top of the second. Bottom of two, Pirates again threatening. Tony Pena on second. Jim Bibby at the plate. And the pitcher drives one into center field for a hit. And here comes the runner from third, or does he? No. Pena, understandably, stops at third base. Runners on the corners for Omar Moreno, the leadoff hitter, two away. That is a weak ground ball, and the fielder's choice retires the side. All right, Jays up in the top of the third. They can't do anything. One hit for the championship Jays. The Pirates up. Bottom of three. Once again, they are threatening. Madluck at second. Easler at the plate. Guzman strikes him out, ending the inning. Top of four, the Jays finally have something going. Manuel Lee, I remember him. He's a poor man's Tony Fernandez. Manuel Lee at second, Dave Winfield at first, and here he is. The real hero, Joe Carter. Can we have a repeat in the fourth inning? And Carter, little pop-up catcher's going to handle that, and that retires Joe. John Olerud, another big power hitter constantly threatened that 400 batting average up against Jim Bibby. And Olerud drives one into left. That is going to do it for the Jays. Bottom of 4, nothing for the Pirates. Top of 5, scoreless. Each team has 4 hits as we head to the bottom of 5. And they've got something going. Jim Bibby, he's had a really good game, pitching-wise, hitting-wise. He's at second base, 1 away for Dave Parker. Guzman gets Parker to fly out to third in foul territory. And Jason Thompson strikes him out. That is strikeout number 7 for Guzman. Where is our perfect Juan Guzman? Come on, OOTP, give us that perfect Guzman. We go to the top of the 6th, 4 hits apiece. And we have redacted on second base, Manuel Lee at the plate. And he goes down swinging. That brings up Dave Winfield, hitting .500 in the game. He's got good contact, decent power. He drives the ball to second base, easy out, and redacted moves to third. Once again, Joe Carter at the plate. He could break the game open in the 6th inning. 2 out, Jim Bibby on the mound. Here comes the pitch. That is deep, 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 and Jolton Joe does it again. Very similar to the place that he hit it in 1992. And Joe Carter and the Blue Jays take a 2-0 lead, top of 6. Bottom of 6, can the Pirates recover? Well, Guzman's on the mound. Easler on first. Madlock at second. No one out for Tony Pena, the catcher. Drives one to first. They turn one, and because Pena's slow, he manages to make it. He is safe. Madlock at third. Pena at first. Dale Berra, the number 7 hitter, up against Guzman. That is hit to shallow center field. Will it be deep enough to score the first run? Here comes the runner from third. It is cut off, and the Pirates get their first run of the game. Tim Foley at the plate, 1 on, 2 away, and he takes a walk. Guzman, 5 2/3 innings, 3 walks, 7 Ks, facing the pitcher, Jim Bibby. Normally, I think they might pinch hit here, but let's see. Bibby goes down swinging, and that is the 3rd out. So apparently they figured Bibby is more important on the mound. They didn't pinch hit for him. Top of 7. Devo is on second base. Pat Borders on at the plate. No one out. Bibby delivers a pitch, and that is, I thought that was much deeper. That is a line shot to left field, 1 away. Kelly Gruber, third baseman, number 8 hitter at the plate. Bibby delivers, and Gruber goes down swinging. 4 Ks in 6 2/3 innings for Jim Bibby, as the Blue Jays do not pinch hit Juan Guzman at the plate. And he goes down swinging after 7 as we hit the 7th inning stretch. It is 2-1 Jays. 2-1 as we head to the top of 8. Bibby still in the game. He is going the distance. 7 innings. Manuel Lee at first. Redacted at third. Dave Winfield at the plate. And the ball gets away from Pena. That is going to score the run number 3. Winfield looking to cash in Manuel Lee. He takes a walk. And Bibby, they leave him in. They have confidence in him. Line shot to left field. Easy play for the left fielder. 1 out, 2 on for the man who wore a helmet on first base when he was playing defense. John Olerud. And that loads him up. I'm sure the Pirates have someone in the bullpen because Bibby looks like he's getting worn out. Loaded bases for Devo White. Good speed. Should be able to avoid a double play. That is hit to left field. The runner holds up and Pat Borders. Loaded bases. Drives one to third. They take the easy out at second and the threat is over. Bottom of 8. Can the Pirates tie this game up? They do get Bill Madlock on at second, Mike Easler at the plate, up against Juan Guzman, and a pop-up for out number 1. Tony Pena, the catcher. A home run would tie it up. No, it is a shot to left field. That falls in front of the left fielder. Here comes the runner from second base, and he is out. And out. Wow. Dave Winfield throws out the runner from second. Key play there. Dale Berra at the plate. He can tie the game up with one swing. He hits it to second base. Easy play for the first baseman. And we go to the top of 9, 3-1 Jays. Hinkie on who would you want? You would want Tom Hinkie, who I believe, did he save the game in 1992? Or was that, might have been another guy. I get the 2 years mixed up that they won back-to-back. Hinkie on the mound. Tim Foley, the shortstop, at the plate. He drives one, but the first baseman, Olerud, handles that easily. And will they pinch hit? Yes, they do. The Pirates bring in Lee Lacy. Lee Lacy, 33-year-old, good contact. He's not going to hit many home runs, but they need him on base. They need a runner on base. And he delivers. Lee Lacy gets on base. Just reading some of your comments. Yeah, Bibby can hit a little bit. He sure can. The Jays won in 92 and 93. They sure did. Phillies and the Braves, I think they beat. And what else am I missing? Yes, that home run was 1993. It haunts us to the day. Well, it haunts some of us to the day. What do you mean? The Canadian teachers sound like a theme team. Well, usually you need at least 26 players on the team. I'd have a theme team of 1. I don't think any baseball players were teachers, at least in Canada. All right, runner on first. Omar Moreno, the center fielder, the leadoff hitter. Good contact. How old is this guy? 28 years old. Look at that speed. He should not hit into a double play, right? No double play with 2 speedsters on. He drives the ball, but easy play for the right fielder, and that's the second out. But that's okay because Dave Parker's up. Dave Parker got some home run power. He hit 9 home runs in the season. If anyone can do it, it's Parker. 2 away. Hinkie on the mound. And Parker drives one, and the fabulous glove of John Olerud handles it very easily. And your 1992 Blue Jays, just like they did in real life, they win the championship over the Pirates. All right, so we will add the Blue Jays to the championship list, team number 14. 2 more to go, and then we get those 16 teams in a bracket, and they will face off 1-game elimination and find out who our ultimate champion is. Juan Guzman, the player of the game, went 7 1/3 inning, 7 hits, 1 earned run, only gave up 3 walks, 8 Ks. The loser, Jim Bibby, 8 innings, fairly strong innings. He only gave up 2 earned runs, had 5 strikeouts, and of course, the key home run to Joe Carter. Hitting wise, Bill Madlock went 3 for 4. He had a strong game for the Pirates. For the Jays, Manuel Lee, the number 2 hitter, went 3 for 4. Very good game from the underrated Manuel Lee. All right, we are going to go into some packs as I spam a couple more iron tournaments. Just got in on that one. And as the Gladiators loads up here, let's just check out the comments. Coaches are teachers. Very good. Yes, I like that. I like that. Coaches are teachers. I think EVC already has a theme team with managers only that used to play the game. There you go, Rob. Made the final 4 in one of your bronzes. So you're going to get somewhere between 3 and 10 packs. See? Bry Dave becomes the 500th follower, and he wins a tournament. You, watching the show, you end up in the final 4. Excellent. Good to hear that. Well, the Rocky Mountain Gladiators will open some packs after the break. Let's analyze this team a little bit. We are in Diamond 354. We are currently 47 and 44. We are not going to win the division. We are 17 games out. We are in a division with this team, Barnstable Beasts. Sheldon runs this team 64 and 27. He's been in perfect team once already. And he has Tris Speaker, Ted Williams, Honus Wagner, George Brett, Nap LaJoy, Mickey Mantle, and Yogi Berra. I'm in Diamond, and I only have 2 of these players, Willie McCovey and Oscar Charleston. 17 games back. I think he has a better set of hitters. He's got the best Pedro, the best Maddox, the best Walter Johnson, and the best Carl Hubble. I do not. These are kind of, at least the top 3, those are kind of the meta pitchers right now. Maybe that'll change tonight if we get a Cy Young. But yeah, Pedro, Maddox, Johnson, maybe throw in a tops bunt pitcher, maybe. Those are the premier pitchers. I might have Hubble. His relievers, Mariano Rivera, Tug McGraw, Clace, Steve Howe, Dennis Eckersley, Sandy Koufax, and Platinum 4, Rochelle. This is almost a perfect meta lineup, barring a few LE cards, maybe a couple big bats, Ty Cobb. This is a team that should be up and perfect. Now, let's look at my team. I do have Cliff Lee, who is, one of the better left-hand pitchers out there, I would say. Yeah, Rob's fan, right? Right? That is a good team. I've finished maybe a couple CC5. They're tough. I do have what used to be a meta pitcher. John Matlock used to be a top 5 pitcher maybe 2 months ago when Platinum 3 came out. So I have him. I'm like that younger kid that gets the hand-me-downs. That's exactly what this team is. So You have an older brother or, older family member and you get hand-me-downs? That's what I get. The hand-me-down cards that no longer are in the starting lineup of many teams. I do have Carl Hubble, so that's good. He's a good pitcher. I still use Vida Blue because I need to. And I have the 99 Tom Glavine, who has done okay for me. He's 6-7 this year, but he's a good pitcher. So you'll notice my rotation is all lefties. I don't have quite a lefty ballpark, but I do have, by coincidence, all lefties in the rotation. In the bullpen, Tug McGraw, Christy Mathewson, Roy Halladay, Kevin Brown, Tom Seaver, and Dennis Eckersley. Tug McGraw is at .56 ERA. He's pitched 16 innings. I use him in a less often role, and all my other relievers, I go middle relief. I'm using an adaptation of your kidney's newest pitching rotation. I used to use the 18 batters faced, 60 pitch count. I abandoned that. I probably should go back to it because I don't have the top level pitchers. Kidneys would say, Lap, go back to the 1860. Maybe I'll try that out again. That's kind of the strategy you want to use if you have my pitchers. If you have Walter Johnson, Greg Maddux, Hubble, Pedro Martinez, if you have those top ones, you don't want to use the 1860 strategy. You want to use let them rip. Put them in there. Don't set a pitch count. Let them get by that third inning penalty, should one exist. That's what you want to do with the top pitchers. I might need to revise my rotation. Penguin City Pizza. Love that name. I'm getting hungry now. Just like all of you wanted to smoke and drink beer, well, I want pizza now. I'm just about to finish CC4 and CC5. And it looks like we do have an ad in progress, so we will be back in about 1 minute. Welcome back, guys. I kind of went into the break last there. I was talking about my pitching staff and kind of the strategy I currently use, which I might need to change because I don't have the top pitchers in the game. I probably should go back to the 18 batters faced, 60 pitch count with these pitchers. It worked for me much better in the last few seasons. If you look at my record, so 2 years ago, I was 86-76. Well, actually, I've been using the 1860 approach since 2046, I believe. And I've had a pretty good record. I've made it up to perfect league a couple times. And then this year, I went to a different strategy. But I don't have those top pitchers to make it work. So I may need to go back because I was 93-69 last year using that other strategy. All right. You know what time it is? Yes, it is that time to open packs. Let me go back to my main screen here. We will get off the coffee cup. And thanks again so much, guys, for joining in and helping me celebrate with the tie. 500 followers today, including SRAP 21. You are follower number 503. So not only did I hit 500, I've gone a little bit past 500. So thank you guys for helping me out there. As I said, a little bit later today, we will be doing a couple giveaways for 10 standard packs. So stay tuned for that. And if I, in my card pulling, pull a Thomas, Ty Cobb, or Randy Johnson, we're going to do the giveaway for 10 of those packs right away, as soon as I pull that card. Not very good odds, but stay tuned during the pack pulling. that might happen. All right. I think it is time to hear from the dogs. Yeah, I don't know if you guys could hear that. I don't know if the mic picks up my speaker that well. And if you did and it was loud, well, I apologize. But yes, time to open some packs, see if we can pull some plat for some of those cards that I think are going to go up in price tonight, right? Those plat 4 diamonds, I think we're going to see them on the market for some big, big money. Wow, perfect points. All right, you know the drill. Let's get the dogs a barking. Let's see the emotes. Let's get those packs going. Again, if I pull duplicates, be ready on the card shop because I always give you the best price of the day. Just like Gorgo gives the best prices, I give pretty good prices as well. There we go. Wildcat Bandit. We've got Cubs fans, Steve. When those dogs come out, usually we see a good card pretty quickly. So be ready for it. Be ready for that. Number 32, Ricky Henderson. Looking for, again, a Randy Johnson, a Frank Thomas, and a Ty Cobb. Of course, all in the same pack. Hey, good. The new emotes are showing up. Excellent. Wildcat Bandit with the Who Let the Dogs Out emote. Love to see it. Thank you, guys. All right, we got to warm the packs up a little bit. It's a little bit cold up here in Canada, so we need to get them under fire a little bit. We need the flames. Not the Calgary Flames, though, because they're the arch enemy here. Well, just let me know where you need me to PayPal your support with the dogs. Yep, that's the happy look. That's for sure, Wildcat. All right, guys, we have our first perfect card. Maybe even our first giveaway. If it's a Randy Johnson, a Frank Thomas, a Ty Cobb. Touchdown, it is. Just ignore Nightbot, Steve. You can emote all day long. Well, properly. Like I said, the cards needed to warm up, and here we have our first perfect card. 233 of you in the chat watching this. 70% chance of live, 30% chance of historical, Tops Bunt, or Aaron Judge, or Nola, or Strider. Let's find out. We've got a I'll take it. I'm just laughing because Gorgo pulled one yesterday. I pulled one Tuesday. 3 days in a row, a streamer has pulled Paul Goldschmidt, the second best valuable live card that you can get. Yeah, I sold one on Tuesday, DA, for 40,000. Let's go take a look. Let's go take a look. So right now, the highest buy order is 35. The average is 43 in the last 10. If it was rigged, this would be a Ty Cobb, not a Paul Goldschmidt, or at least even an Aaron Judge. So if any of you guys need Paul Goldschmidt. I can come down a little bit, but I've got to go above 35 because otherwise this buy order will get it. So I'm going to put it at, I think, a very fair 37,999. On stream, when I pull good duplicates, I want to give you guys a little bit of a deal. So I know some of you said you needed this card. Where was it here? Someone that said they needed it. I don't know if you've got the perfect points right now to get it, but I will put it up to help you get those 3 diamond packs as part of the missions. The MVP, or is it the home run leader mission? Yeah, the home run leader mission, which I'm, by the way, I'm 400% complete. There you go. Yeah, sorry, Rob fan. Yeah, it won't even let me put it to 530 perfect points. All right, Paul Goldschmidt is on the card shop. So yeah, that's definitely going to help the perfect points. All right, let's keep going. The dogs work. Thank you, Steve. Thanks you, Wildcat, for posting those emotes. Don't I always say when you start posting those, the good cards come? So it's not rigged. It's simply the universe saying, these guys are nice. They're followers, they're subscribers, they're using laptops, emotes. Let's give them a little reward. At least that's what I like to think. Hey, Roman a day Twitch. Glad I could help you out. Hopefully you have the judge and you can get those 3 diamond packs now. You have to let me know if you pull any good historicals. And Cobra, that is, you know it, that is not gouge. Lil Chef putting the emotes in as well with the, hard to see, but it says, who let the dogs out on the Little Chef one. Yeah, that is a no gouge. All right, come on. Looking for those Plat 4, looking for a Frank Thomas, looking for Randy Johnson, Ty Cobb, Hal Newhouser. My live gold, I'm just going to quick sell them. I don't think there's any live gold that are worth anything. And there are many on the card shop at minimum value. Peaches Davis, and a gold card, Mr. Duran. We'll take a quick peek. Yeah, they're minimum value. So I'm just going to quick sell it. Peaches Davis is a duplicate. Almost quick sold them there. Yeah, I can't come down too much. I can put it up for 128. That's 50 points cheaper than the past 10. So if you need a Peaches Davis, part of the Rebirth Silver pitchers, he is on the market. Gold Soto. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for him. I think he's 89, isn't he? Soto is 89. But yeah, those live golds, there's absolutely no extra sell value in those. Diamonds, yeah, there are a few. And of course, a couple perfects. All right. Again, we're doing pretty good with the faceless players. On Tuesday, I pulled a pack with 3 faceless players. Gold number 6 is Al Rosen. Not a duplicate, hardware hero, part of CC1 and CC2. Even though I've completed him, I want to keep him because you never know with future missions. I don't want to have to rebuy him back for double the amount. Keep on plugging away here. Who let the dogs out? Where are those emotes? Yes, thank you to Lil Chef with the emotes, bringing on the diamond. What am I going to call? The card I always get, Mr. Buxton. My Dishnet, call your shot moment, Brian Buxton. Wildcat, Little Chef, that one's for you. Yes. I don't know much about the Diamond Platinum 4, just that they're in demand. I don't. Oh, it is a duplicate. Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Like I said, guys, if I get a duplicate of good cards, I want you guys to have first option on it. And the lowest priced one now is 70,000, but the last 10 is 34.5. So I can't put it any lower than 30. I'm going to put it at, I'm just going to go all threes. So if you are speculating, if you're trying to complete Plat 4, I'm going to give you a no gouge deal at 33,333. I know tonight, if I waited, I could probably put them up for 50 and it would probably sell, but you guys get first shot. So Ron Klein is on the card shop. Well, KK, I just missed that. So someone got themselves a really good deal. I was like 20 seconds premature. Never a good thing. But I'll take 30K after taxes. And it might have been someone that was watching that said, "Hey, Lap's going to put that up. I better put up a big buy order and beat someone that puts it at whatever Lap asked for." So yeah, I'm hoping someone here got it. Synchronicity, KK. They put it up right when I said 33.33. Hey, Cedarites, thank you. I don't know. I think it would give it to you at 33, I would think. You know what? Let's check that out because we have the power. 31,500. Okay, you math geniuses. If I got 31,500, what did it sell for? 35 or 33.33? Oh, it's 35? Well, the synchronicity was good. Could have got a little cheaper, but it went for 35. So thank you, Cedar Rates. You were willing to pay that. You got your Mr. Klein. So good to know that if I put up a lower amount at the same time a higher buy order comes in, it takes the higher buy order. So I hope that helps out tonight. I hope it is part of the missions. For a Plat 4 diamond, that's still really cheap. It really is. Plat 4 diamonds are going to go for pretty good coin tonight, especially if it's a Cy Young and Willie Mays topper. There are going to be some roadblocks in those missions. Again, thank you guys for tuning in on this Thursday. The weekend's almost here. Hang in there. If you're at work, I hope your boss can't hear me. If you're on the road, I hope you're not driving and listening. Do not drive and watch streamers. If you're at home relaxing, I hope you have a nice beverage that's not Labatt Blue, or hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Maybe it is. I always like to put up the Negro League players because never know, some might need them for missions. So here's a Frank Warfield, a Meta Bronze tournament card, putting him up for 32 is the lowest. We'll put him up for 30. You probably have him already, but if you need Mr. Warfield, he's on the market. Yeah, smart move, Stinkins, with holding on those perfect cards. The only perfect plat 4 I've pulled is the Sam Crawford for my theme team, but I sold him. Could have waited until after tonight, but I got paid well for Sam Crawford. Much better than I'd be paid for now. Gold card number 8 is Corbin Burns. I will take the 1,000 perfect points. Gorgo. Welcome, Gorgo. Yeah. Okay, Gorgo doesn't know the answer yet, so don't type in chat the answer. Gorgo. About 5 minutes ago, I pulled a perfect card. Based on this last week, which perfect card do you think I've pulled? Who do you think that perfect card was? Don't scroll up in the chat either, Gorgo. Who do you think it was? Oh. I'd be drinking more than a coffee right now if it was another Sam Crawford. I'd be running out to get a lottery ticket. Who did you pull yesterday, Gorgo? And who did I pull on Tuesday? Gold number 9. Gold number 9 is, I think someone mentioned Devin Williams a little earlier. Quick sell him. Rob, I personally, I would. If you can get some cheap iron and bronze plat 4, they might be involved. They might be involved in missions, but typically you need at least one or more diamond or higher cards to finish the missions. They may get you 10 points or 20 points for the mission. They could help. I'm a collector. They're going to be out of packs soon. I don't think they go out of packs tonight. If someone has heard otherwise, let me know, but I think they'll still be in packs. But I like to collect all of them. So yeah, if you can get cheap ones for under 100, why not? Collect them. It was Paul Goldschmidt, live Paul Goldschmidt. I think it was yesterday you pulled a live Paul Goldschmidt. I pulled one on Tuesday, and then I pulled one today. So we talk about streaks. We have a 3-day streamer streak of Paul Goldschmidt. Kind of cool, actually, because it's a pretty valuable card. Yeah, EVC. Welcome, by the way, EVC. Good to see you. You have not pulled anyone great of late. Yeah, that happens. We get in those kind of streaks. I'm hoping your Christmas presents that you got are still kind of lasting, because that was amazing. On Christmas or New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve, I can't remember the exact day, but EVC, if you missed it, pulled 5 or 6 historical perfects. And while he was streaming, I said, I got to get in on this. I started opening packs and I pulled a perfect Delahanty. So it was a matrix type of day in the historical perfect world. That definitely was a fun time. Just 5. I pulled the 6th. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. All right, I pulled one perfect today. I pulled the Paul Goldschmidt live, which I sold for 35,000. And we're missing some dogs. Cedarites bought my Paul Goldschmidt card. And the dogs were working. EVC's got the YMCA. My old eyes, hard to see exactly what that emote is. There goes Wildcat. Wildcat has the "Who Let the Dogs Out" emote going. Cubs fan Steve is back with the emotes. I don't know if we're pushing the universe boundaries here of asking for another Plat 4 diamond. So the two best pulls so far, Plat 4 pitcher, diamond, and a Paul Goldschmidt live. Hank Bowery. Can't sell him. He's my only copy. Ever do that when you were a kid and you opened baseball cards? Got him, need him, got him, need him. Like your memory was so good that you'd fly through the cards and you knew exactly which ones you had already? Yeah. Memory as a teenager was pretty fun. Oh, right. Rome bought the Goldschmidt and Cedar bought the Platinum Klein. Well, we're going to go for a little bit more here. We'll go pulling packs on this team up until the break. Then we'll pull a few on the Blue Jays just to see if we can get them something good. We'll talk about tonight's release a little bit and speculate. And then we'll do the giveaways. So the giveaway coming up in probably about a half an hour, unless I can pull a Randy Johnson, Ty Cobb, or Frank Thomas. I'm not asking for much. Nothing that immediately helps the Gladiators here, so no card that can step right in. We'll check the missions a little bit later. But we do need a timeout because the last 15 packs have not been very nice. Need some of that Gorgo and EVC luck. All right, let's quickly go to the card shop. And let's just do a short version of gouge or not gouge. Just a very short version today. Martin Perez, I can't believe no one has scooped him up for $545,000. I just can't believe it. He's still out there, guys. Cicero, Cedarites, Lud. You guys want this card? It's only $545,000. Yeah, that was sarcasm. Yeah, that definitely is still gouge. Did those emotes show up yet? Those that are subscribers, do you have that emote? Or do you just have the dogs one right now? Lud always supports pro gouge. Sam Crawford, right at about level 10, 440. I sold him for 725. Good timing. And that is a fair price, especially with tonight's missions coming out. Fair price for Sam Crawford. No gouge. Josh Gibson, we talked about on Tuesday. Fair price. There probably haven't been many sales, but his last 10 is 945. One up for 800,000. A buy order in for 600,000. I'll bet you 700,000 or 750 would get him. If you had a buy order of 750, it definitely, as Cobra and I would say, no gouge. One of those rare examples of a card worth 700,000. We talked about Ricky Henderson. He has the 6s for the lowest one on the market. Someone has a buy order in for $592. Yeah, Cobra, that definitely is a less gouge. That is a thank you very much for that really good sale. That's like going into a store and anticipating paying $10 and they say, hey, you can have it for $5. Ricky Henderson, no gouge. All right, Gorgo. Yeah, there's a couple emotes that are still probably have to be reviewed that will go very well with this segment here. Yep. Superstitious or religious reasons. I get it. Yep. 666 A lot of people have the 420 as their marker. If it's a 420, you probably know who's selling or wanting to buy it. So no gouge on Ricky Henderson. We heard from a follower earlier that he pulled the number 31 Ricky Henderson. So there's probably at least 66, 67 still out there. Wow. Cobra. Think about this one really, really hard here. 2,555,000. But remember, Cobra, he is part of the Top Bunt Cleveland mission. Eh? Gouge or not gouge? I think this is gouge with 5 G's in it. Yeah, this is a 5G gouge. This is a gouge that you keep putting in G's until your keyboard says you've reached the max limit. So there is an ad break, or there should be an ad break going on right now. Unless, of course, you're a subscriber, or depending when you tuned in, you might not have an ad break. So we're going to wait another 30 seconds here until the ad is over. I want to check if ads are working. Have you guys been getting ads during the stream today? Gorgo had some issues yesterday. I had some issues on Tuesday with ads. Ads just ended. Yeah, ads just ended. Yeah, that YouTube and Twitch, you got to have those sponsors. And even if I wasn't a streamer, it would be like, at least I'm getting packs out of this. I'm getting drops. I'm getting, entered into giveaways and things like that. Yeah, in an ideal world, we'd be able to do all this without putting ads on. But yeah, that's just how it is in social media. You get those ads. All right, let's finish off gouge or not gouge. Babe Ruth exactly being sold for last 10 sales. This is a card that at one point was over 1 million perfect points when it came out, and people were buying it for over 1 million perfect points. It is now at 465. It's definitely not gouge. No problem with this price. The issue is, would you pay that much considering the cards that have come after Babe Ruth? Rob, you would buy it immediately if you had 400K? Interesting. Because since then, I think we've had the Ted Williams come out. We've had the Cooperstown Jimmy Fox come out. We have Frank Thomas that came out. So there are a lot of first basemen that rival this Babe Ruth. I completely agree. Good comment, Ludlud. Babe Ruth is really good in certain builds. Absolutely. Yep. Good point. So if you're just going to buy Babe Ruth and put him in a non-power ballpark, don't bother. You definitely want to have a cheese home run ballpark for Babe Ruth. And 2 more to go. Mike Schmidt, who a couple of you have pulled. Cobra has pulled, and Steve has pulled the Mike Schmidt since it came out, selling for $575. It's come down quite a bit in price. Here was another card that, correct me if I'm wrong, at one point I think it did sell for over $1 million or very close to it. Not gouge. Is he still the best third baseman? Is it Schmidt, Brooks Robinson, and everyone else? Or am I missing an elite third baseman? Schmidt for hitting, for sure. Robinson for defense. Brett. I forgot about Brett. I think Brett versus righties. Yeah, Brett versus righties. So who's the best third baseman versus lefties? Is it Schmidt? Let's see his ratings here. Oh, yeah. So ideally, you want a Schmidt-Brett platoon. And if you have that kind of money to throw around, good on you. So Schmidt, Brett platoon, or you could have Schmidt at first base. You're right. Look at that. He has a very good first base rating. So Schmidt and Brett. And let's actually let's finish. Actually, let's go look at Brett. Price must be down there. Either that or he's not on the market. Not Rhett. We want Brett. There he is. Oh, that's the wrong one. There are two George Bretts. I think this is a heck of a deal with the level last 10. 190,000? If Schmidt is going for 500,000, Brett's got to be worth at least 250, doesn't he? 300? I know Schmidt can play two positions. Well, what do you think is a fair value for George Brett? 250? I would say between 250 and 300 is what that card should sell for. Thank you, Mr. Ree. We'll take that off. I'm so engulfed here in gouge or not gouge. What is a fair price? What is that maximum price you would pay for a George Brett? Mine would be no more than 300. And Brett can play first base? Yep. Defense definitely worse than Mike Schmidt, especially at first base. But look at that versus right-hand pitching. All right, well, and the other one was Brooks Robinson. Which I have. I have a Brooks Robinson that I got off the card shop, 150,000. See, this would be a case of someone that's new to the game, that has built up some perfect points and is trying to build a competitive team. I would say go out and jump on this now, because there are only so many Brooks Robinsons out there. You can't get them in packs. You can't complete the missions anymore. There's a finite amount of Brooks Robinson. So if you're building a team and you can't afford a Schmidt or a Brett, Brooks Robinson is really great. Probably arguably the best overall third baseman against righties and lefties. If you want someone for both, I know Schmidt's probably still better, but if you can't afford Schmidt or Brett, there's one Brooks Robinson right now. Like I said, these are going to be hard to come by. He has held his gameplay since he came out. Brooks Silver, yeah, no, good luck with that, with the Brooks Silver. But that is a really good price, the Brooks Robinson. 150. Like I said, if you're just building your team and you can't afford the Schmidt or the Brett, he is your best option for that price. You might even get him for 125, but he's not in packs anymore. Yeah, Cubs fan Steve, he's played for me as well. If I got a Schmidt, I would probably put him at first base maybe. I'm not in really eager to get a Brett. So here's my Brooks Robinson. He hits anywhere between 250 and 290. He's had a couple down seasons. In perfect league, when I was up there, he hit 282. And the second time he hit 287. So here's a third baseman for 150K that at perfect level was a good hitter. Average 273. So yeah, he's been solid for me, Steve. His career fielding 195 zone rating overall. He's been 5.7. The lowest he's been in field rating is 4.2. No, 2.9 one season. In perfect league, he was 4.4 and 2.8. So yeah, I highly recommend if you have the perfect points or you can scrape them together and you don't have a decent third baseman, he is going to stay on your team for a very long time. Unless you're saving up for Schmidt or hoping a Brett gets posted. All right, let us go about 15 more packs. We'll go about 15 more packs on this team. Oh, great. Yeah, EVC. Definitely keep us updated on your stream, how that testing goes. I'm very curious how Brooks versus Brett go on your team. So you must have Brett versus righties and Brooks versus lefties then. Yeah, Brooks was never in perfect team packs. That's why I'm saying 150,000 is a really good price. For a long time, you would had to pay 300,000 at least for Brooks. So whoever's selling him probably has a Schmidt, a Brett, or both, or just trying to raise money for Plat 4 cards. Yep, fair point. Fair point. DH, you got that DH roll. And same with me. I think we bought him probably closely around the same time. I paid, I think, $215 for him. So a little bit more than you. Vaughn Hayes. I think our pack pulling luck has expired on this team. We got our Plat 4 diamond. We got our perfect card. I think the universe is saying, we'll give you two more just before you stop opening packs here. We'll tease you a little bit. This deserves full screen for Ludlud here. There you go. Ludlud, if you put Brooks on for less than 150,000, I will absolutely make it a point to show it on stream and to say those two words. And EVC in 9 games, Brett is hitting 176. 170. That's in perfect league though, right? Is that your perfect? That must be your perfect league team. 176. All right, the gold card. Gold card number 9. Mr. Bednar. And is it a Buxton card? Nope. I think the same rating though. So Bednar, we're going to quick sell that one. And we'll check the last 10. I think Marte's like not much. Yeah, 3 people have them at 401. So that is going to be a quick sell. So one pack turned into 5,000 perfect points. Let's see if it gets on a roll a little bit. Gold number 10. Here we go. Very good. A Blue Jay, which I have already. Ross Stripling. I think former LA Dodger. Is that right, EVC? Did Stripling start with the Dodgers? Oh, I can always rely on Wildcat and Steve to bring the dogs out. Gold number 11. And all of them, I think every gold I pulled so far have been live golds. I think that's 11 in a row. And diamond. Thank you, Wildcat. Who let the dogs out? Woof. Diamond number 4, I think. 4 or 5. Who do we got? Buxton? Garcia. Wow. This is the most I've seen posted at minimum level for a diamond live. 10 of them. You can't give these cards away. So we'll quick sell. Well, we can't stop now. We are on a little bit of a gold diamond roll. Nothing really I can put up for sale. I have not got very many low-level Plat 4. I think I've only opened one bronze Plat 4 and one diamond Plat 4. I think that's been it. All right, last pack is going to be not much. So we will end it there. We'll save a bunch of packs for a little bit later on. Probably next week at some point, because the cycle's coming to an end and new content's coming to an end, at some point, I'm going to have to do a Hulk-a-Mat type of rip and open up most of these. But still holding out, even though theoretically, today should be the day I open most of them and take advantage of Plat 4 sales. All right. Well, I'm going to go back to my main screen. As we finished opening a lot of packs. Homer? Did your Brett just hit a homer? Yeah. Remember, Steve, in earlier streams, we always kind of made fun of the price of LE Banks. That's right. He didn't show up today because he was under the threshold of 400,000 that I put. Yeah. At one time, he was sitting there for the longest time for like 700,000 or 900,000. Yeah, that it showed 209 for me roaming a day. It showed 209. But then when I refreshed, because maybe you haven't refreshed, so maybe it's still showing the former amount of viewers. But we're going to carry on because it sounds like those that are here can see and hear me okay. Plus, hey, you got a better chance of winning now if there's only 74 people here. All right, let's go back to the last thing kind of I wanted to focus on tonight or today was tonight's, where is my, there we go. Tonight's new releases. We know we're getting the Plat 4 missions. We know we're getting 2 toppers, probably Cy Young and Willie Mays. Good chance of those. But it's the new cards, the packable cards. Those are the ones that we're going to hopefully get something good, something fun. I want something fun tonight. The problem is all the great players have already been in perfect team, either this year or last year. So the game is, who has not been in perfect team yet? And not just this year, but any year. We won't get a Barry Bonds because of the licensing agreement. So We won't get him. Yeah, it's been weird. It's been weird. Some people are getting booted, some are getting black screens, but it seems to have worked itself out. So I went through and I looked up from this site here, Baseball Almanac, which I love to use, the list of the Sporting News greatest players from 1998. And I looked at them going, we have that one, we have that one, we have that one. There were a couple names I couldn't remember, though, if we did have them. We have had a Mark McGuire, right, in previous years? I'm pretty sure we've had a Mark McGuire. How about a Goose Goslin? We had a Goose Goslin. Interesting. Sam Crawford, top 100. All these other. How about Willie Keeler? Yeah, we have. Haven't we had a Bob Feller? I'm pretty sure we've had a Bob Feller. Goslin is this year. Okay. How about Willie Keeler? Can't remember if we've had him. Okay, so we have had the Keeler. Yeah, we've had the Feller. Yeah, you're right, EVC. It has to be someone that's never been in the game so far. And all these top 100. What about Bill Terry? Anyone remember if we had Bill Terry? Some of these players I'm not too familiar with, so he could be one if he hasn't been in the game. He is? Okay, 95 this year. Okay, I just haven't come across him. So all 100 of these players, because they were so good, they've already been in the game so far. So then I thought, well, let me look up something else. So then I looked up who are the 50 most underrated players of all time. I thought maybe this was our best chance of getting someone that isn't in the game. So let's take a look at some of those names. Jim Abbott. Jim Abbott. I think we've had a Jim Abbott, haven't we? We've had Sal Bando, Jay Bell. Pretty sure we've had him. Wally Berger sounds familiar. Pretty sure we had a Wally Berger and Larry Boa. Meta card this year in bronze, Don Buford. Brett Butler. I'm pretty confident we've had a Brett Butler. Same with Campaneris. Same with Norm Cash. How about Hal Chase? Yeah, Butler this year is a really undervalued card, I think. Hal Chase. Okay, he's a 65 this year. Cubs fan Steve, right on the ball. Jeff Conine. We must have had a Jeff Conine. Doc Kramer. There's been a few Docs in the game, but have we had a Doc Kramer? Pretty sure we've had a Doug DeCinces, player I remember. Bobby Dewar, we've had that card. Eckstein a few times. Edmonds we've had. Very, very good card there, center fielder. Okay, Kramer is in this year already. Finley we've had. Ferragosi, we must have had a Ferragosi already. I know we've had Furillo and Giles. I've seen a Tommy Herr. Hissel. Bob Johnson, Robert Johnson. Again, because of the politically incorrect words that some players had as nicknames, I doubt we're going to see, that name be used in a game. How about this guy? Ken Keltner. Ken Keltner. My two favorite pitchers as a kid. My two favorite pitchers. Don Sutton, Dave Stieb. We've had Dutch Leonard, Hal McRae. We have a Don Money this year. Hal Morris, Moses, Northrup, Ogilvy, Jose Quiendo. Oh, wow. Two versions. Geez. Some of these names, they're not the name brand names, so you don't really see them when they come up. Amos Otis we have. We have a Freddie and a Rico. Really good shortstop card or second base card. I think it's a tournament card maybe. Willie Randolph, we have that one. Captain America, we have Steve Rogers. We have, I think, a gold Tim Salmon. There's Dave Stieb, one of the 50 most underrated ball players. We've had a Vizquez, I know that, Vizquel, and a Wallach. Not familiar with this name because it's a pretty common name, Bob Watson. So I don't know if we've had a Bob Watson. I believe we have had both senior and junior at one point. Maybe not this year for senior, but we have had. Because yeah, this is only players that have never been in the game. So if they were in last year, strike them off. Bill White. Devo's been in the game. Frank White. We got a lot of Whites. Roy White, Frank White, Devo White, Bill White. There's a theme team for you. There you go. Only players with the last name White. I think we do have a team that has only colors as their last name. And Jim Wynn. So I applaud the OOTP researchers that have had to find cards that have never been in the game, because we don't want 10 iron cards. They've got to be players that have been half decent, right? We can have a couple iron, a couple bronze, but trying to find those diamond or perfect cards that have never been in the game, that must have been pretty challenging. We have tried players with color in their name before, but that was last year. Okay, so no one's trying a theme team with just colors this year. And we do have a 93 Watson this year, Bob Watson. And yes, Ken Griffey Sr. Was in a couple years ago. So it's going to be a challenge. This might be one of the most fun episodes to watch, just to see which players they've come up with, because I haven't been able to find any. I mean, yeah, you could go and you could find, players that played 3 games, but I mean, players we would recognize. It must be tough to find those ones. Hey, Ozzy, that's a good point too. Sometimes they do have sets. Usually they're not on stream sets that they show. They're just, hey, we've released 60 new iron and gold and bronze cards. But maybe tonight is a set, because face it, the platform missions is the highlight of tonight's stream. So the packable cards could be gold or lower. It would impress me if they could find one or two or three diamond or perfects that have never been in the game. That would be impressive. Moonlight Graham. And as I showed on the build on our get in the game, Egyptian Healy. There's a name that has not been in the game before. Egyptian Healy. Or how about that shortstop, the Japanese shortstop from a few years ago for Toronto? The guy that had the great personality. Has he ever had a card? Oh, just Teddy, stop it with the Tim Tebow. We're not getting a Tim Tebow. All right, guys. I think where are we here? Yeah, we are good on the viewers. We got back up to over 100 here. Thanks, guys, for tuning in on this special, momentous episode where 500 followers. We had our 500th follower today, with Bry Dave being the 500th person to follow my channel. So thank you very much. Yes, it has my name on it, but with the chats that we have, this is all of our stream. It's all of us to kind of get together and share some talk about baseball. So thank you, guys. Up to 505. So recent, we've got SRAP 21, Chadwick 22, and I just noticed now that my Twitch is working again, 44 minutes ago, EVC in NYC2 with a tier 1 renewal. Thank you so much, EVC. And you might want to plug your ears, because you know what you get. You're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I've ever met. And as I said to the last subscriber, the song ends there because it kind of gets a little bit touchy-feely lovey. So that's the Tina version phrase. Thank you, EVC, for the resubscription. That puts me at, I don't know, 13 subscribers. And I know when you get to 15, you get to add new emotes. They give you more emotes that you can add to your channel. So eventually I'll get there. I'm just ecstatic that I'm at 500 followers. Thank you again so much for all of you that have followed today, yesterday, or way back when I started at the end of September.